Alright guys, welcome back to part 3 of this, I guess, like second installment where I'm playing Fortnite here on Fortnite Fridays and reading Spider-Man comics. There's a huge event kicking off here later this afternoon, which I'll be checking out. But in the meantime, I just wanted to kick back, read a few more Spider-Man comics, and play some more Fortnite. I had a lot of fun last weekend doing this. And I don't always have Fridays available to just kind of kick back and do these little Fortnite Fridays. So I've got some bonus content that I had saved for today. But being that I'm actually off today, I figured why not hop in here, play a little Fortnite, read a few comics. It's not as easy as it sounds. And that was a lot of the appeal for that. My cousin is constantly distracted with his kids, and I'm just like, dude, how do you even play Fortnite? Like, how do you get into it? How do you sit back and have a good time when you got one baby crying because you're not looking at it or feeding it or whatever? Then I feel like he's just got like another kid who's constantly like running around the house trying to basically murder himself. But he finds time to sit back and play Fort, and when he does, I just feel like he's multitasking. So that was kind of the idea with this: multitask while playing Fortnite, but then also trying to combine two things that I really enjoy: comics, video games. Fortnite's already done an amazing job of combining those two things, but I'm taking it a little bit further, and it's not as fun as it sounds. It's a really good challenge. I was able to squeak out a win last Friday doing this. I almost had one just now. That was so embarrassing. The guy literally just snuck up behind me and, like, capped me pretty solid. But it's tough. It's not easy. It took me, I think, like 4 videos to get through one single comic book, and I don't think it's going to take me any less this time around. The last time we left off, we had what looked like Spider-Man, of course, getting thwarted by the Doc Octopus from a previous setup in the Spectacular Spider-Man, which I mentioned. I had read, and Doc Ock left Spider-Man smelling stinky and like sewage water, which, ooh, you Doc Ock, and your diabolical plans. But, ooh, I'll get you, Parker. Always got somebody messing with me. And I just wanna read my Spider-Man comics. Let me be. Spider-Man gets cleaned up, goes to the party.
Where does it hurt?
Below the party, we see that there's some disturbing things going on. It's not all that it's cracked up to be. Gonna go all the way around the map. Just want to find somewhere safe, man. There was also a young waitress we were focusing on, Anna, um, and it appears she is one of the homeless that um, the gala is helping to support. And then it's also showing that, like, those who are homeless and being affected by that situation have a chance to work here at the gala. And, we have, I guess she's going to be of somewhat of importance here, because, like I said, it seems to be focusing on her quite a bit. And then as it picks back up above, the dirty basement, where, like I said, everything it does, it's not as clean as it appears to be up top. And there's even like some screeching and scratching going around from rats. And it says, "It must begin now." And there's a huge uh, screech on like rats. Panel of like this doll baby being eaten alive, essentially by this rat. So it's kind of like I think a glimpse that you know um, no one is safe. Maybe some innocence lost. I feel like the baby doll being attacked and chewed on um, by this rat has some kind of like um, relevance. Like I said, back upstairs, we find Mary Jane is kind of flirting with a few guys. Parker stumbles upon this. He's like, "I'm glad to see my wife wasn't completely ignored while I went to go get some drinks." And it seems like they're just trying to pull out some information from her um, for the soap opera that she's on. And then in the background, we got Willie Lumpkin, who does his little ear wiggle maneuver, dancing with Aunt May. And Aunt May saying, "I've got the steps down, Willie, but I'll never be able to do that with my ears." So I guess he's dancing and wiggling his ears all at the same time. Amazing stuff going on here. Um, then the next panel, we got Parker um, thinking to himself as he's looking over at May dancing. And it says, "And to think we were worried about Aunt May's strength." Then Lumpkin is saying, um, "Nonsense, Aunt May, all in the jaw muscles." And then there's somebody standing right behind Parker. It says, "Parker, I've got a bone to pick with you." And it appears to be Stilt Man. And Peter Parker's like, "Oh no, Stilt Man." Um, and he's panicking because his spider sense should have warned him, but it didn't. Now they're showing some like thought panels, and I guess one reason why it's taking me so long to get through some of these books sometimes is because I do like to do some commentary. And I was talking about comics and the movies and everything the other day with a friend of mine, and how I do enjoy the movies, and I'm glad that people watch the movies and get a kick out of them. But I feel like every time I have a Marvel conversation or a DC conversation, it's always based off of the characters in the terms of like the films. And I think that's great and everything, but I'm just always like, I don't know, a little saddened that when people see the movies, and I think part of the movie's existence is, for this reason, that they don't go to the comic shops or to the Barnes and Noble, at the mall and pick up a couple of like graphic novels and a couple of collections, or just hit the local comic shop and just grab a couple of issues and really get to know the material, that inspired these stories. Because, like I said, I think it's just, it's a little sad when the only thing people know about, like, the Black Panther is from the movies, and you know, there's a lot more. Um, to the books and everything. And I feel like you get some of these nuances. And what I was getting to with some of that is, here we have like Parker doing this thing, and um, you know, and a lot of times in the movies, there's just like action, and you just see like, Peter swinging in to save the day and webbing up a few things, and then he hits this guy and he punches that guy. In the comics, they break it down to where it's like somebody sneaking up behind him. He's thinking about things, and like, here he is. He's exclaiming, "Stilt man!" But then there's like thought bubbles. Spider sense should have warned me. And so you get like what they're thinking while they're doing these things, and it really slows it down and breaks it down to a whole nother level, which I think is something you don't. There's story nuances and character nuances and things that you don't get from just these like 2 hour, 2.5 hour long movies, but some really cool breakdowns and some things that you don't get a chance to see unless you really pick up an issue of a comic book. But the next panel we see that it's really just Flash Thompson. He says, "Whoa, whoa, Petey, calm down. It's just me." Flash, what are you, of all people, of the what up, all the, huh? It's like, of all the people doing dressed, what is it? Flash, what are you, of all people, doing? Oh, they're spacing it up. I was like, what? That doesn't make it. He's like they're. So again, they're breaking down the pacing of the dialogue. Flash, what are you, of all people, doing dressed like a supervillain? That's probably the greatest dialogue line from any Spider-Man comic book here. Okay, we've only got about 8 people left. Um, and then we also got looks like Harry Osborn and Liz and Felicia, Betty Brant. They're all hanging out. They're all in costumes. It says, "Believe it or not, Peter, Thompson told us this was a masquerade ball." Oh, wow, this is awesome. I thought that's what Peter said. Luckily, and this is Harry again, Liz and I simply came as Donald and Iva, so it'll be an easy fix. They're just like wearing suits and a dress. Um, then Liz is like, "Speak for yourself, Harry," I guess because she's all dolled up. Um, and then Felicia's actually dressed up as the Black Cat. I picked Flash's costume just to flaunt his body, Peter. But dressing myself as the notorious Black Cat was just a whim, and the outfit seemed to suit me. Nice, Felicia. If you're into risking your secret identity just for the thrill of it. And again, it starts off where he says, uh, "Nice choice, Felicia," and then it goes into a thought bubble, dot, dot, dot. If you're into risking your secret identity just for the thrill of it. Betty's dressed up. I think it's Betty from the Flintstones. Personally, I'd be mortified my entire life. It says, "Actually, Betty, this suit looks better on you." Oh, she's never been more mortified in her entire life for her suit. And then Peter's like, "Actually, Betty, the suit looks better on you than you think." I don't know who she's supposed to be, though. It's interesting. Oh, shoot, I gotta get ready to rock and roll. It's very, like Archie Comics-esque, if you ask me, where, like, it's just a gang hanging out, you know. What's this? Go for it. So we got the gang here all confused. Evidently, Flash thought Peter said it was a costume party when it wasn't. Then Flash again. I'm pretty sure I told you guys that I thought it was a costume party. And Parker takes off his tie, says, "Here, Flash, maybe this will help." Fan club disband MJ? Only until I say different, Tiger. But I definitely won't need these phone numbers. I guess you got a couple of guys sitting on her. It says, "Excuse me, folks, your presence is requested." It's Joe Robertson. Mr. Robertson, what's up, Robbie? Oh, shoot. Dang it. Just move into the circle. That's all you gotta do. Post up behind this tree, like it's where you belong. All right, perfecto. All right, so Parker rips off his tie. Mary Jane rips off her numbers, rips up the numbers, and then Joe Robertson says that he needs to see everybody. Shh, very, very quiet. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can third party this real quick. Dang it. I says, let me see here. Probably going to start reading any more of this. He's doing this invisibility bullshit.
someone call a doctor?
Dang it! Can I please just read? Oh, 30 crown dubs, pretty impressive. Can I please just read my comic books in peace? Jesus H. Christ, people. Oh my God. All right. Make sure you like, make sure you share, subscribe, comment, like it. Take care of yourself, take care of each other. Until next time, let's make everything else.